Okay, welcome back, student. Today I want to continue the module PPT. There's a nuclear energy. I will give all the answer from this one module. Okay, so we continue our lesson. Okay, let's see the first one. This one's the use of the energy. The first question. Okay, let's see here. Read the statement below. Then the nuclear power has supplied 2,488 for the terawatt hours for the electricity in the 2017. Okay, which is about the 100%. There's a 10% of the global of the electricity for generation. So as a 2018, there are 58 power reactor they under the construction and also 154 reactor they planned. Okay, now the first question they ask, name the main country that are using the nuclear energy. So from our knowledge, we know the France, we know the Japan, we know the United America that are using the nuclear energy for the power station. So we check the answer. Okay, so the answer here they give one only. So this one is the main country using, there's a United States of America. Okay, now we continue for question B. What is the use for the nuclear energy in the country you mentioned just now? So we know using that the power station produce a nuclear energy. Actually, the function is important is want to generate the electricity. So we check here. Okay, they want to generate the heat and also electricity throughout the country. Okay, now we go to question 2. We need to compare the table below to describe the advantages and also disadvantages for the nuclear energy compared to the other sources. Okay, let's see the first one. This one question is from your module. There's a fill in the blank. Okay, let's see the first one, advantages. Does not emit the toxic gases. Okay, they're not same like the fossil and you need to burn. Then they produce the toxic gases, then got pollution. So this one, the nuclear energy, no. They don't have any toxic of the gases, but that will pollute the atmosphere. So this one is one of the advantages using the nuclear energy. Okay, number 2, they say that does not produce a lot of the waste material such as the dust and soot and also the ashes. So this one seems like the industry. When the industry will do some production, they will produce the waste. Then the waste, they go to the ocean, they go to the sea. The one is called material pollution. So this one is another advantage for the nuclear energy. They don't have any waste material. Okay, number 3, they only the small quantity of the radioactive substance is needed to generate a lot of the electricity. So that means they need a very small size of the uranium. Then after that, they can produce more of the electricity. So that means your efficiency is very high. Okay, the last one, they can reduce the use of the fossil fuel. Okay, now we go to the next part. There's a disadvantages. Okay, let's see the disadvantages. First one, the cost of building of the nuclear power station sure is very, very high. You also need to find a big location for it to build the power station. Okay, number 2, they expose the workers to hazardous for the radioactive radiation. Okay, number 3, the proper maintenance is required. You want to prevent the leakage of the radiation at the nuclear power station. So that means when they run about the nuclear fission, the process, there will leakage for the radiation and also the heat. So you must prevent this all thing will leakage to the outside. Okay, number 4, the leakage of the radiation that may bring the harmful effect to the living organism and also the cancer. Okay, they will cause the human being or the animal or the plants that got harmful for the living things. Okay, now we go to answer the next one. The diagram they show the 2 nuclear reaction. Okay, first process X. You can see that the first uranium. The neutron, they will hit the uranium, then produce 2 lighter nuclei and also the energy. Okay, second process, there's a combine. Okay, hydrogen, okay, another hydrogen 3, they join together, they combine. After they produce a neutron, then the bigger nucleus will produce. So now they could call you to identify what's the process X and also the Y. The actual is a nuclear fission. because there's a big size split becomes smaller size. Okay, then another one should be the smaller size combined together become the bigger size. That one is a nuclear fusion. Okay, then we continue to this one. What is produced in each process X and also Y? They ask you what they produce. So from here we can see the process X. What they produce, the first one is 2 lighter element. Okay, we can say there's a nuclei, then also the neutron, and also the energy. Okay, now we go to Y. Y, what they produce? They produce become one of the heavier nucleus, and also neutron, and last one sugar energy. So this one, the biggest the nucleus, we call it as a helium. Okay, now they say helium, neutrons, and also the energy. This one is produced from the nuclear fusion. Okay, then we go to B. You need to state the 3 uses of the nuclear energy. So nuclear energy, first one we know that generate electricity. Okay, 2 more. Okay, 1 more is that can generate the submarine. Okay, power the submarine, and also one should be the satellite. Okay, we check the answer. First one, generate electricity in the nuclear power station. Okay, number 2, they can provide the energy by the satellite. Okay, number 3 also same, provide energy. Okay, the power submarine. So this one is a function. We're using the energy from nuclear power station. Okay, number 4, you need to fill in the blank by using the correct answer. Okay, nuclear power station use what to produce the nuclear energy? Use what to produce the nuclear fission? We're using the uranium. Okay, then the nuclear energy is then they turn to the what water? Okay, they turn to the heat. Okay, use the heat to heat the water, then they produce steam. Okay, after produce the steam, they're using the steam to rotate the turbine. Okay, when they rotate the turbine, that means they got kinetic energy. Then they generate to produce electricity. So this is the process for the power station. Okay, from starting until ending. Now we go number 5. State 1 safety measure when the handling the radioactive substance. So that means we one measure how many radioactive substance produced. So you think about what you're using. Another one should be the safety. Okay, first step, okay, they're handling the radioactive substance by using the remove control. Okay, measurement, we're using remove control, never using the hand. Okay, number 2, you want to measure the value of how many. So they say using the screen made of the lead. Okay, must be lead because lead can block the gamma ray, and also must be thick. Cannot be thin. Thin, that means the leakage will be happen. So they must thick, after that concrete, to prevent the radioactive radiation. So this one is a safety. Okay, so they state 2 only, so we just mentioned. So remember lah, remove control. Another one using the lead and also thick concrete. Okay, what is the best way to dispose the radioactive waste? How we go to throw? Okay, after use, want to throw away already. How to dispose? So from here, we just suggest radioactive waste are kept in the lab, or you say in the thick container, because you want to prevent the radiation that come out, escape to surrounding. So you need to keep inside the thick container. After that, you need to bury it. Okay, bury it, do the deep underground, or you say after bury under the ground. Okay, sometimes they never bury under the ground because they will affect the soil. So sometimes they will straightforward keep inside the thick container, after that through to the ocean. So this one is another way how to dispose the radioactive waste. Okay, after that, what should be the workers and the nuclear power station wear for their safety? So we need to see the workers, they want to save. So although that you're working at the power station, so the first step, the special attire, then to protect from the radiative radiation, and also they got dosimeter badge, okay, to measure the level as the exposure to the radiative radiation. If you just expose a little bit, that's okay. Okay, but you long time, expose for the longer time, that means this one must be protected by yourself. Okay, complete the multi-flow format below. Okay, here they got impact of using the nuclear power. First one is a radiative radiation, another one is a radioactive waste. Okay, we see what's the impact. Okay, first one is small dose. You're just causing about the small part of the radiation. They will cause about the nausea, okay, diarrhea, vomiting, and also the hair loss. Okay, hair loss and hair fall. Okay, another one, if you big dose, okay, you got higher for the dose, they may kill about the body cell. Example, they cause about the cancer. Okay, C, pollute. They got A, soil and also water pollute. Okay, D is enter the food chain. Okay, radioactive wave and also radiation, they will enter the food chain when the animal they eat the plant. Then after that, they have absorbed the radioactive waste. After that, finally, they're eaten by the human. So this one is another disadvantages if you're using the nuclear power station. Okay, now this is an objective question. We see the number 1. Which of the following is not the use for the nuclear energy? Okay, not related for the nuclear energy. So the first one, sure got, because we need to generate the electricity. Okay, we drive the submarine, yes. Provide the energy for satellite, yes. And alternative energy to the power car, no. We never using the nuclear energy to generate your car. So the answer should be D. Okay, number 2, which one following is a radioactive substance they use to generate the electricity? So here we don't have any uranium. But how to pick the answer? You find the number. The number is the biggest one. That one is an unstable nucleus. So from here, this one is the number atom 238. So this one should be the unstable. So this one we call it as a plutonium. So this one should be can using as generate the electricity in power station. So the answer should be A. Okay, number 3, which one following is correct concerning a radioactive substance? So the first one, there's an element with the stable atom. Actually, there's a not stable. Okay, after that, the element with unstable nuclear atom, and also the element with the moving atom and closely arranged atom. Actually, the answer should be unstable. Okay, the answer is a B. Okay, now we go number 4. Which one material is suitable to make the into container for the radioactive substance? Just now I mentioned already, the container you want to keep all the radiation, so we're using the lab box. Okay, so the answer D. Okay, number 5. The process in the diagram 1. This one process bigger becomes smaller, so should be the nuclear fission. Okay, number 6. Which one following is adverse for the affected generation for the nuclear energy? So we see what affected. Okay, produce the toxic gases, more expensive compared to fossil fuel. Produce a lot of the soot and also dust. Produce a hazard radioactive waste. Okay, is an adverse effect. They ask about the effect. So from here the answer should and does no. Okay, produce hazard radioactive waste, yes. Then more expensive compared to the fossil fuel. This one is a disadvantageous. So from here the answer should be the effect. So the effect is produce a hazardous for the radioactive wastes. So we said the answer should be the donkey. B is not effect because they say comparison. Okay, C, they're not related with the dust because nuclear energy don't have any dust. There's a heat only. So the answer is a D. Okay, 7, which one following is a short term? Just a short term, you want to affect from the radioactive. So the short term should be the A lah, because A is a sum of the effect. There's a nausea. So the answer should be A. Okay, so we finished the objective. Now we go and see the structure question. Okay, diagram 1, they show about the nuclear reactor. Okay, they built in an area far away from the residential area. Okay, so state 2 uses for the nuclear energy. So we know already the first one should generate electricity. Okay, number 2, either you say about the satellite, either you say about the submarine. Okay, let's see the answer here. To generate the electricity, to power the satellite and also the submarine. So either one. So name one of the radioactive substance that is used in the nuclear reactor to generate the electricity. So the radiation we use must be uranium. So you want to write plutonium is okay, but normally we're using uranium. So number C, name the country using the most of the nuclear power to generate the electricity. So just now we mentioned already the most one should be the America. So United States of America. Okay, advantages. State one advantages if you're using the power, using the nuclear power lah. So the first one, sure, they produce a lot of the energy. Okay, number two, you can say about the toxic gases. Okay, we just either one. So from here, the important is do not admit the poisonous gases, that means the toxic gas, that may pollute the environment. Okay, disadvantages you can say about the high cost, because you want to build. Okay, number two, you can say about the hazard. So let's see the answer here. They say the leakage of the radiation that may bring the harmful effect to the living organism, such as the cancer and so mutation to humans. So you just mention one, then enough, because the question just asks about one advantages and one disadvantages. So number two, the production, or you say the nuclear energy. The diagram they show about the two process. Okay, let's see the process A and process B. So based on the diagram 2, explain both processing. Okay, so let's see the answer. You must include the following aspect. Identify the both processes. Okay, process A, we call it as a nuclear fission. Process B, that's a nuclear fusion. Okay. Okay, then we go to identify the two similar characteristics. Okay, now we're going to see the two similar. Okay, first one, you can see the diagram. Both also produce the energy. Is it? Okay, and also you can see both also produce the neutron after the process. So this one is a two similar. Okay, first one, both processes produce the nuclear energy. Number two, produce a neutron after the process. So this one is a two similar from the diagram. Give two differences for this process. You see what's the difference? Okay, you can say about the process. When starting, the fission is a heavier nucleus. After that, become lighter. For the fusion is reverse. Okay, they from the lighter, they combine become heavier. Okay. Number two, you can talk about the difference for the energy they produce. Both also produce energy, but you must know one of the energy is a very, very high temperature. Then they will occur. Okay, we check the answer here. Nuclear fission and nuclear fusion. Okay, first one, this one involves the separating of the one heavy nucleus to produce a two lighter nuclei. Okay, for the fusion, involved to the fusion is the two lighter nuclei into one heavy nucleus. Okay, number two, involve the bombarded of neutron on the nucleus of the uranium. That means they got one neutron, they go to hit the uranium. Okay, fusion is involved the fusion for the hydrogen 2 isotope, hydrogen 3 isotope at the high temperature and pressure. So this one must be high temperature, high pressure, that will occur. But this one, no. Okay, for the fission, they just only the neutron go to bombarded the uranium, then that will happen. Okay, state one of the use of the nuclear energy. So everybody know this must generate the electricity. Okay, advantages and also disadvantages. Just now we already mentioned. So they just need two. So we go to B is what? B is a fusion. A is a fission. So we're going to see the comparison. Okay, advantages. If we say about the fusion is better than fission, what's the advantages? Okay, fusion, they produce more energy compared to the fission. Okay, number two, fusion, they produce less radioactive compared to the nuclear fission. Okay, the radiation they produce should be less for the fusion, but fission is a more. Okay, these advantages. Nuclear fusion, they cannot be controlled. Okay, whereas the fission, they can be controlled. Fission, we can control by using the power station. Okay, so nuclear fusion, they occur at a very high temperature and also pressure, but the fission, they no need. Okay, they no need using very high temperature, they also can be occur. Okay, so this one should be the answer from your essay question. Okay, so our lesson just until here only. So hopefully you check your answer, then you do your correction, write the correct answer in your module paper. So thank you for your watching.